Hey, buddy. You know, I got a bit of a question to ask you guys. How do I put this? You see in the back of me that obviously I'm a fan of MLP FIM. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. But I got a question for some of you out there. Even though, with all due respect, even though your family knows, understands, and in a way respects what you like, have you ever had somebody in your family who you love dearly that has recently, in the past, come out and basically told you flat out that you need to stop being a fan? In other words, have they told you you need to stop being a fan of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and anything associated with it because it's not meant for you? Well, as much as I love my older sister, as much as I love both my older sisters, I've had basically my family at times kind of in their own way, and God forgive me for saying this. Lord, forgive me for saying this. In your name I pray, amen. But I've kind of had my family in their own kind of unique way understand and respect my likes and dislikes. And they understand and respect my love, my like and love for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. You know, the show, the characters, you name it. But they won't be hesitant not to come out, but they won't hesitate, I should say, not to want to come out and basically say that you need to stop being a fan. Or at least drop hints of, yeah, you need to kind of stop being a fan, start getting away from it, and start focusing on stuff that's appropriate for you. And I completely understand where they're coming from. I do. I mean, I know for a fact that my family are not the only people out there. They're not the only people out there that pretty much look at fans like myself, fans like Josh Scorcher, and his fiance Aramount, Ari, if you will. People like Lightning Bliss, Katie Patterson, Katie Patterson, aka Midnight Sonata, Da Wilsonator, Will, aka Thespio, Voice of Reason, Dusty Cat. People that live within my vicinity as well, with the Central Valley. Like I said, Silver Quill, Dr. Wolf, Voice of Reason. I think I said Voice of Reason. Mad Munchkin. Eliora. Anybody that's part of the TF analysis community. AC Race Best. I love Saber Spark. I love KP a lot. Anybody that's a fan, whether they're notable analysis and reviewers and fans themselves, or just starting out, or just low key. Heck, Ben and John at Ben's Toy Ben. Even Lily Orchard. As crazy as that sounds. But yeah, just a bunch of people my age, younger, older, that are fans. There's no doubt that a lot of us have had our families kind of be like, yeah, we respect the fact that you like and love the show and the characters, but don't you think maybe you ought to start getting away from that and letting that just be for who it's intended to be for? And again, we can understand that. I can understand it. I can respect it. And I know others that I've just mentioned, the people I've mentioned here, have dealt with that, and they can understand and respect that. But I think as crazy as it sounds, the answer that we always give our family and friends, that mostly our families that do respect and understand our likes and dislikes of things, and our love for things like friendship is magic, you know, we can understand where they're coming from. You know, to them, I mean, and it's crazy to say this, that it's almost going on a decade run. It's almost going on a decade run for this franchise, for this incarnation of My Little Pony, and there are still people, even within our own families, that even though they understand and respect, you know, what we like and don't like, they still don't get it. They still don't know what the appeal is. And I think the answer we always got to give them is, see for yourself. Watch a few seasons, check it out. Here's some episodes we can recommend that will get you probably intrigued in it. And that's the only way we can have our family kind of have that understanding of, oh, now we see why you like it. Oh, we get it. You know, they made this reference that might go over the head of the targeted audience. Or they made this acknowledgement to this or that. You know, in a way, give them, in a way, the episodes we present them with would be the kind of episodes that would get them to understand, oh, this does seem like it would go over the head of the intended younger audience. I mean, there wasn't a moment that my family didn't tease me constantly about it. I mean, I understand why, because, you know, it's kind of weird to see somebody that's almost 40 years old be a fan of this, but I'm not the only one. Dusty Cat, Dr. Wolf, there's a lot of people in my age range, Lightning Bliss, Silver Quill, you know, we're all fans of the show. We're all fans of these characters, and we even are fans of individual characters themselves. I mean, for me, one of my favorite characters is Luna. Right here, Luna. And on top of that, the other one I'm a fan of is, where do I have something up here? Is Rarity. I'm a fan of Rarity. Her and Luna are the ones that really got me into watching the show. Because if you look at the characters, yeah, in a sense, they're like eye candy to the viewer. You know, they're like eye candy to a viewer or to the characters on the show. And in a sense, they're relatable for, you know, what they go through, for what they're, you know, viewed as, or how they're viewed as. But still, they're the kind of characters that would get you invested. Like, you want to see more of that. And as you give the show a chance, and you continuously watch, and you also hear through the grapevine about all these other shows, about these other episodes, and you take a peek at them, and you look at the moments that get, you know, put onto video streaming sites and stuff, and all that, and you go like, wow, I can relate with this character. Like Luna, a lot of fans look at her as a rebellious character, and you see that somewhat in the show. They can relate with Rarity, because even though she might have the look of a, and I say this with all due respect, a Kardashian-like character, she's more than that. She's willing, nowadays, to get her hooves dirty. She's willing to fight for what she believes is right, fight for her friends. she is willing, she's basically very generous in the things that she does. I mean, you take a look at the best gift ever, which was the holiday special, and it shows her generosity at its best. And it's characters like that that, you know, get a lot of us becoming fans. I mean, Josh Scorcher and Ari Aramount, if you will, the fiery secretary, they love Rarity as a character. They love her because they could relate with that character and where she comes from. Heck, they call her best pony. It took a while for Silver Quill to get behind Rarity, and all of a sudden he did what, like 1 or 2 videos, after the fact videos dedicated to Rarity. The point is, folks, this show may be, in the eyes of a lot of folks, its main sole purpose throughout its run is to sell toys. Even with the movie, that's what its sole purpose was. Sell toys to the young kids, most of the young girls. But if you're Hasbro and DHX and you see that you have an audience that consists above and beyond your original intended audience, then you realize you've done something right. I mean, Lauren Faust basically said it herself, and I said this before in videos. She wanted to create, and Lauren's even said it, she wanted to create a show that could be for everybody. I'm sure she didn't expect the Brony fandom to become what it is, the adult fans to become what it is, but they did. Because she took all the elements of G1, G2, and somewhat of G3, mixed it all together in a blender, and boom, here out came G4. The point is, folks, we know our families and our friends and our colleagues all have the best intentions. But I think the best thing we can all do, and maybe I should do this, is have them watch certain episodes to get a better understanding. Because until they get that understanding, they're not going to... Until people get a better understanding that still doubt and still question why adult fans like me and Silver Quill, Lightning Bliss, and Josh Scorcher, and everybody that I've mentioned, you know, until they kind of view these episodes for themselves and kind of get, and thus, in a way, kind of get that understanding that's necessary, they're still going to question why. They're still going to look at it like it's embarrassing. And I think the time has come for us to let our family or friends or colleagues know that yes, we love and respect your opinion. We understand what you're trying to tell us, but it's our choice to like this show. And if you watch these certain episodes that we put, you know, piled together for you or listed off for you to binge watch off Netflix to get an idea of why we like the show and why we like certain characters, hopefully you'll have a better hopefully you'll kind of take a liking to it as well, or at least you'll have a better understanding to where you won't constantly, you know, not constantly but on occasions kind of suggest in your own way to stop watching it, to move on from it. And that's the only way I see it. That's the only way I see anybody that still to this day, surprisingly almost 10 years later, you know, that's the only way I see those kind of people kind of having an understanding as to why we like it. We got to let them know, hey, this is why, and here, we're going to give you these episodes to watch, and after you watch them, maybe you'll have a better understanding as to why we like the show, and hopefully you won't be bugging us on occasions to kind of stop being a fan and of the show and of the characters, and stop collecting the merchandise and stuff that they put out. So, but yeah, that's basically what I know. I kind of rambled on a little bit there, but my question to you guys is right there. Like I said at the beginning, it's at the top. Do you, as fellow fans, Bronies and Pegasisters, have family and friends that still to this day, even colleagues, still to this day, Do you still have family and friends that, and colleagues that still don't get it? Still don't understand why you're a fan and why you're a Brony, why you're a Pegasister? And do they, on occasions, try to talk you out of being a fan, try to get you to stop watching and supporting the show and the characters? Let me know down below. Comment if you like. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say on this matter. I'll talk to you all later.